Good morning, good Sunday morning. I hope you're having a lovely lie-in, or had a lovely lie-in. And I am back with my book club. I haven't read too much of this because of a few reasons. One, it's giving me such nostalgic throwbacks that I cannot cope at all with this. I'll read a few pages and be like, need a minute, I can't do this. But yeah, I'm still going to get into it a little bit. I think I'm up to chapter 13, which isn't, again, it's not very far. Sorry, but it's bringing back so many memories, because obviously if I wanted to watch, or not watch, if I wanted to be reminded of this, I would go to the film. But this is me imploring you to not go to the film. I have totally, yeah, I need to talk to you about it. Are you ready? Okay. So this book is amazing, and I'm not saying that it's a literary revelation or anything like that, because it's not. There's things in it where I'm kind of like, oh, Cecilia Ahern, why have you done that? Like, she seems to end every chapter with not a cliffhanger, but kind of a, like, the one I remember most is from chapter 2. And if for people who don't really know what it's about, I mean, I'm only taking it off the blur, I'm not going to spoil anything. That Holly and Jerry are childhood sweethearts, and unfortunately Jerry ends up dying, which you find out why in the book, and he leaves her a bundle of little notes and things that she has to open for the rest of the months following his death. Not obviously until for the rest of her life, but just up until the end of the year. And it's about that journey she goes on as she opens the letters every month. Now, in the film, that is the point of the film. The whole gimmick are the little letters that she gets. And yeah, the whole point is that she does that, and it's so American. It's so American, the film, and like, her mum's not very nice in it, or is a bit against it, and I don't know. To me, the film is nothing on the book. The book is so beautiful because it's so Irish, and I'm not saying that I understand Irish culture. I've ever even been to Ireland, because I haven't, but I just love it. I can get lost in Ireland. Like, it talks about different places, like Malahide, if that's how you say it, Portmarnock, and just places that, and there's people in it that aren't even mentioned in the film. Like, she's got two older brothers, one younger brother. They've all got siblings, not siblings, they've all got wives and girlfriends and kids, and she's got a mum and her dad still there, and Daniel's still in it, for people who watch the film. But the whole story is not about Holly so much in her quest to just open these letters as if she's so swept up in everybody else. It's how everybody else comes to help her, and yeah, just how life happens. And that's why I love this book, and I'd completely forgotten how much I'd loved this book. And it's the whole idea that, I mean, they do touch on it in the film when they say that Denise and Sharon, who are her two best friends, and they go on holiday and they confess to big things happening in their life, and Holly can't really deal with the fact that they're moving on with their lives in such happy ways. But even in not happy ways, everybody still has to live and carry on. Oh, I forgot she's got a sister as well. My bad. But everybody has their own little stories going on, and it's how Holly tries to really keep up. She's intertwined with it, and she's really affected by it, and at the same time is going through grief. And I think that's why the book means so much to me, because at the time of reading it, I was really struggling with my own grief, and I didn't really understand how I was meant to function with everybody else. It didn't make any sense. I didn't understand why the world hadn't stopped when I was dealing with my own grief. I needed everything to just stop so that I could deal with it, and then I could keep up, and that's not the point of grief, and that's not the point of this book. And oh, I'm really sorry I'm taking it so slow. I wanted this to be either done this week or definitely done next week, so that we can start a new book next week. And I promise you I will start a new book next week, even if this one I don't finish, because I know the story, I know it inside out, I know what happens at the end that's different from the book, I know things that happen with the brothers that don't happen in the book, and I know it, and as I'm reading it more and more I know it. And I think it's just I think I just went too personal for the first book. If you don't have any issues with grief, or have never experienced it, this is a really good insight into it. People of my age, so I'm like 22, will remember like Twilight and New Moon, especially the second one when she loses Edward. But that, to me, I read that and I was like, and yes, Edward didn't die, he just left her and it was just a split up, but they tried to do it there, and this is so much better. This is so much more apt, and I just, it's so poignant to me. This is like a book that I will always cherish and go back to when I need it. This seems almost like a self-help book to me. I don't know why. But yeah, it's really not. I mean, it is a bit of a gimmick that Jerry wrote her these letters and she's trying to fulfill whatever the letters are meant to be to her, but it's just about so much more than that, and I absolutely adore this book. I cannot praise it enough. And like I said, there's little bits. Did I say what it was? I didn't even say. At the end of chapter 2, the only thing that's like really bothering me is how she ends each chapter. So for end of chapter 2, she realises that Jerry's written these notes, and it was like, was it possible that Jerry kept his word and written a list for her before he died? He wouldn't have, would he? And it's like, well, yeah, no, that's going to be the whole plot then, if you kind of made that big of a deal. And she kind of does it at the end of every chapter. End of chapter 4, it couldn't, she's like saying, of course it's not from Jerry, blah blah blah. If it wasn't for Jerry, then she had to accept the fact that it was over, and that was it, and she's got to move on, and her trembling fingers opened it, and then the last line is, it was from Jerry. And it's just like a sitcom-y kind of dun 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 kind of ending on every chapter, and it really doesn't need it. It's almost a little bit gimmicky, and that's the only thing at the moment I'm like, Other than that, like I said, the Irish thing in it is really, really, it feels more realistic and like a home thing. Even though I don't know the places, I can kind of think, oh well, that could be what I'm doing in Leyland or Chorley or Lancaster or Preston, or, you know, this round near me. It feels more grounded in that sense. And like, she goes on a birthday night out and she has a really she has a moment with the taxi driver, or she goes to her hairdresser and there's a whole way that they are there, and I don't know, it's less Hollywood, it's less gimmicky, and please read it. If you're not already reading this along with me, then just do it. It's so good. If you are reading this along with me and you have a completely different viewing on this book, please leave me a comment, because I would be so interested. Because like I say, I read this when I was going through a really hard time, and that's what's really standing out about reading it, and I'm getting those feelings. I'm getting older feelings now, having come through most of it. And yeah, I would love to see it from the point of view of like so many different points of view. It would be so interesting to kind of think, yeah, people who may be grieving now, if it still helps them as we're older, if you identify with Holly maybe, or any of them, I don't know, I would love to hear what you think about it. Basically, it would be so interesting to me. But like I say, I will make sure that whether or not me personally have finished this book, I will do a little end of book review this time next week, and we will move on to our next book. Now, I have said that I will be reading To Kill a Mockingbird, which I've never read before, but I have so many books that I might be a little bit tempted to change that one. If you want me to definitely read To Kill a Mockingbird, let me know. I don't know why I keep putting it off. It's my friend's favourite book and she is so pesty about me reading it. So for my lovely friend Mel, I probably should. And then I can watch the film as well, because I'm not allowing myself to watch the film, and I love Gregory Peck. But I'm rambling. Anyway, please let me know. Let me know any other suggestions. I've had for a few lovely people have popped up and said, oh, if you like this book, you'll like this one. And that's so helpful. Thank you very much. I've been recommended Love, Rosie by a few people. Like love, comma, Rosie, like the end of a letter. And again, that's a film that's on Netflix at the moment that I'm putting off, so I can read the book. But yeah, any suggestions, any comments, please, please, please get in touch. I would love to hear. You can either tweet me or just comment on this video. Feel free to subscribe if you want to follow along every single Sunday. I will try and get more videos up in between. Like I say, I do film. I don't know, I film it and I'm like, no one's gonna wanna watch that. But maybe you will, maybe. So again, thank you very much and I will speak to you soon. I love you lots. Ta-ra!